But I thought I'm going to start getting, I'm not going to do weekly, but you can find my weekly live streams on my other YouTube channel, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. I also go live regularly on a Monday on my Facebook page, Marianne Hanson Counselling Service as well. But this is, because this is my personal page, and sometimes I'll go live on my personal Facebook. I'm just, yeah, I don't really, live streams is like, it's one of those things where if I've committed and I've said I'm going to go live every Monday, then I do. On here, because this is more of my personal like channel, and I do more like activities on here. I don't know if it would fit. Maybe when I'm away more, when I'm doing my little short breaks and things, which I did on my last short break, didn't I? I went live on here, and then I think I went live during the tennis. This is a concept that I've heard about recently, this like idea of slow dating, it's called. And all it is people taking the time to get to know each other and build a connection before deciding if they want to pursue the relationship or meet in person. So because we're living in this fast-paced life, because I was reading about it and I was thinking, what does slow dating mean? Is it just like courting from, an old-fashioned way of dating? But it's just a new thing that's kind of trying to replace the whole fast dating thing where it's like swiping on Tinder, where it's like just meeting lots of multiple people. It actually talks about the idea of not actually meeting going on lots of dates. And it talks about this idea of not moving too fast and things. And I think, I was reading it and I was thinking it makes a lot of sense, but it kind of, it goes against everything else that's happening. And even for me, like, because I'm in the process of like, as you know, you've seen on here, this like love journey thing, it's so hard to like know what is the thing to do and the thing not to do. And obviously you're using your own decision making, you're using highlight. So the slow dating, so I'm going to talk about it a bit more in depth, only based on what I know. This is not something that I've heard before. This is not something that I've got lots of knowledge on. It's literally, I saw an article on it and I thought, yeah, this is, so it says to go slow versus chaotic dating. So chaotic dating is where people are just dating without intention, where they're sleeping with people, they're dating lots of people at once. And it's saying, hi, the beauty. Where am I from? I'm from England. Yeah, I think, is that what you... I'm from the UK. You probably can tell by my accent. So, hi, I'm Premfin. So this whole slow dating just means you slow everything down. You take the chaos out of it. There's no like sleeping with the person. You're not doing this thing where you're saying, there's so much people on, especially on Hi Ruby, on TikTok especially, but on most platforms where they're just talking about all this, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you're seeing at least 6 people at the same time. Make sure this and make sure you that. Can we meet? No, I don't. No, we can't really meet up. No. So what am I talking about? We're talking about slow dating instead of chaotic dating. So it says that you need to look at your previous patterns in your dating history. So you take time to review, are there any patterns? Are there any things that you've done in your past relationships that you don't want to repeat? So it's about reflecting. It's about going into things with an intention. It's about, even when things are moving fast, sometimes in the relationship, you slow them down. It's saying to take time off from, it's even sometimes taking time out. And thanks for the likes. So I know lots of people, but including myself, where there's been periods of time where I've actively said that I'm just going to take a few months. It could be 6 months, 3 months, where I'm not going to date. I remember actually it was funny because people kept, during that period of time, men kept coming up to me and they'd be like, can I have your number? And they'd be saying, and I said, I'm not dating. I'm taking a year off from dating. And I remember they'd look at my face and they'd be like, huh? And I'd just, no, I'm not dating anyone at the minute. I'm not in the dating season. And then when I was ready to get back out there, then I would. Then, so actively, it can be, slow dating can be where you just take a step back and you say, I need time to just reflect. So you've put, do you not think that dating is a sense of peace as you can rely on each other and work on your difficulties? It's not saying that you're saying you're not going to date anyone. Slow dating is an intentional way of dating someone versus like chaotic dating, where you're doing speed dating, where you're dating lots of different people, where you're going on different dates every night, where you are just saying I've got to meet someone, you know, with desperation. Slow dating is saying you're still going to find the right person. You're still looking at doing it in that way, but you're more intentional. So you're not going to basically if you're slow dating, you're not going to go on a date with someone that you're not actively saying that there's a potential for you to kind of have a relationship. Whereas like if you go on Tinder sometimes and you're doing the swiping thing, or you go on lots of apps, maybe you're just going on lots of dates, and then you're saying to yourself, if I go on 10 dates, then maybe one of those people might be the potential. You wouldn't do that. Can you, what does that say? I don't even know what Fortnite. Can I gift you a skin in Fortnite? I don't even play Fortnite. I know that my nieces and nephews do, so you must be really young because they're like 11 and 12. But I don't even play Fortnite, so no, and I don't even know what the gifting thing is. No, I can't. So then it says so the other thing to do is you raise big topics early. So there's a phenomenon called radical honesty. Someone told me about this. So radical honesty, it's not the same as brutal honesty, but it's this thing where you are honest with each other to the point where you are raising, you just say what you want to say. So raising big topics is to see if you're on the same page. So you build up, and then the next thing is building up an emotional connection before it gets physical. So I haven't wrote much about this because I'm still learning about it myself. But basically, it's getting time to get to know each other, building a connection before deciding if you want to pursue the relationship. Instead of chaotic dating, sleeping around, dating lots of people, you date one person at once with intention. You take time out and reflect on your own dating patterns. Less messaging, and it's more meeting in person. And you raise the big topics early to see if you're on the same page. Stop avoiding talking about religion or avoiding talking about politics, which what lots of people do. Why not talk about those big issues and see if you're a match? You know, so yeah, I'll probably do more research on this because this is not a topic that I've got loads of. That's why it's so short. I've not got a lot of information on it, but I find it interesting, and I'm going to be doing more videos, maybe out and about more. But when I do these types of live streams, I'll make sure I look at content which you probably be interested in. Thank you to everyone that's subscribed. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. And have a good week, everyone. And I'll speak to you soon. Leave comments if you want to as well. Thanks for joining. Bye. Okay.